Well, hello, everybody. This is Susan for SLC Aquatics, hashtag Fish Fam Mom, coming to you on Thursday afternoon with my series Fish Fam Mom and Guest. And with no further delay, because when you spend an hour and having fun, it goes by so fast. I'd like to bring my guest up, none other than Chattanooga Ed. Hey, Ed.
Hi there, Susan. Thanks
How
for having me.
Oh, so good to have you with us. We've got Mary Page Flynn and Clara Hogan, Mystery Snail Guardians, in the chat right now. So, guys, we want you to go ahead and click that like button and share it out to get more folks over here because I've got the superstar on the platform, and his name is Chattanooga Ed. I know you're not my superstar, but you are today. You're my superstar.
Well,
Oh,
thank you.
and you're such a humble guy, but such a busy guy. And I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to sit with me for an hour and entertain me.
It's
Sounds
my
so
pleasure.
stupid. Sounds so stupid. But I want to say hi to Melvin Reef. Ed's picking up cichlids. And Alien World Aquatics is in the house. Hey guys, good to have you all with us today. And today is your turn to ask some Q&A to Ed, and we're going to share some of Ed's recent activities if he wants to. So Ed, go right ahead and introduce yourself to the folks.
Okay, well, I'm Chattanooga Ed. I live, 2 hours north of you?
Yes.
Uh, and I got into the YouTube thing just because I wanted to win aquarium box big things. Because I realized not the algorithm, but the rhythm of winning was there was only 13 people submitting stuff and they were giving two prizes out a month. So
Wow.
I thought, well, I can be the 14th and get in there. And I know that sounds terrible, but it worked and I won a couple. And the first time I won with Sean Peck was the other winner. And he's a guy that I kind of introduced me to the fish tube. I hurt my back. I've always loved fish my whole life, but I hurt my back really bad a few years ago. So bad that they said if I kept going the way that I was going, I'd be in a wheelchair. So I had to just kind of give up my life because I used to play lots of sports and I loved my job. I worked in a car factory and I was a shop steward, and I was a shop steward for 12 years. And it's really fun being a shop steward because you're kind of like, a mafia guy. Not a mafia guy, but, you
You're the
get to do what you
middleman.
want.
You're the middleman and the bargain guy, right?
Yeah, and I did. I negotiated contracts, and I
Mhm.
ended up getting to actually to a delegate, and got to go on trips, and it was pretty neat. So it was a life that I didn't necessarily want to give up because I really enjoyed it. But I ended up moving down south. Well, when I got hurt, originally my family had all got together and we decided we were going to buy some farmland out in the middle of, well, not out in the middle of Missouri, but outside of St. Louis. And we all bought several acres and built our houses. So my sister, she has 6 kids. I got to watch some of them grow all the way up there. And then my mom and dad were in the middle, and then I was over on the other side. And we're all, several acres away, but
Uh-huh.
so much fun. But my brother-in-law, he got a promotion, became a plant manager or plant engineer down here in Chattanooga.
Oh.
And my sister wasn't happy about it, but you know what? She ended up loving the city and loving all the people here. It's great. So, but she kept sending my mom photos every day, texting her and emailing her of the kids saying, "We miss you, Grandma." And I knew that they were going to. So my mom just got so depressed. They moved here. And then I stayed there for a few years and I hurt my back and I was all by myself. My mom was actually had hip surgery, had her hip replaced that same day that I was in the hospital having emergency back surgery. So I was like, well, this is kind of for the birds, and
Because mom
I,
couldn't visit you.
yeah, you need your mommy when you're in the hospital. So
Yes.
I went afterwards. I went down because I was out of work for a year to recoup, and then when I came back, I had 6 weeks of vacation, and there were 7 weeks left in the year. Or no, there was 8 weeks left in the year, and I knew if I could just make it to January 1st, I would have another 6 weeks. So what I did
Wow.
was I worked like one day a week for a couple of days, but
Yeah.
I just didn't tell the doctors, and I made it. So that was awesome, and then I put all my vacation in. Told them I was retiring early, and they understood medical, and moved down here to Chattanooga. And I always thought negative of the South, and I mean I knew it was beautiful, but I've always been a Yankee, and I was a proud Yankee, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be a Southern. You know what? I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. I
Mm.
I this Chattanooga is so beautiful, so nice. The people are so wonderful. You know, in St. Louis, you have some really grumpy people. And in here, I mean, maybe there's grumpy people here and I just don't run into them. But man, it
You're
seems like you got to fight with people to hold the door open,
you're
you know?
blessed.
So
You
I,
are
I,
blessed.
I am blessed to be here. So I love it. And so that's how I ended up here. And I can't play softball. I can't play hockey anymore. What else did I do? I bowled twice a week. I can't bowl anymore. Uh, I never played golf, but like I'm not even allowed to play golf because that violent twisting. I'm not allowed to twist.
Yep.
Uh, so it's just like I haven't, and I used to fish too, and I've moved here, and it's like one of the best fishing places in the world, and I haven't fished just because I'm kind of paranoid of the twisting motion. And I know that's probably silly because I could probably just do overhand stuff but
Yep.
just haven't done it. But one thing I can do is add to my fish hobby. And I've always, like at my old house, I built it myself. And I had been planning a fish room when I retired, and I was collecting fish tanks.
Wow.
And I had like a couple fish tanks up and running. I had a 200, my 120, and a 50 running in different spots. But I was just collecting tanks in the basement, so I'd have a fish room.
Yeah.
And then I ended up giving all those tanks away.
Whoa.
I kept the biggest ones, but I took so many tanks out to the corner, just said free. It was a bummer.
Sometimes we have to sacrifice like that, and for our new beginnings. And I'm glad that you have really gotten back to the place where you're happily surrounded by your aquariums again. And I appreciate you giving a little bit of history of how you wound up where you are in it's not really central Tennessee, but um, the beautiful state of Tennessee. I love all the people. Whenever Rod and I travel and we stop off in Chattanooga, we swear up and down we're going to move there one day, but it hadn't happened yet because the people are, just like you said, very friendly, very helpful, cordial. They make your stay pleasant, and you're like, wow, if this is the way it is here, why not? And then it has some other perks for the state.
Yeah.
No, what is it? No state taxes.
Yeah, no income tax. Now, are the sales tax is the one thing that they do have though,
Okay.
and it's a lot higher here than anywhere else I've lived. Well, I've only lived in Illinois and Missouri, but here it's about 10 cents on the dollar, so it's kind of a high sales tax. And I don't have an income anymore, so but I still get to brag. Well, we don't have income tax.
Yes.
so, but you know, the well, and I love police officers and I love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in Missouri, police officers get, you hear the bad rap, but they are told they have to get so many tickets. They're
Yeah.
constantly giving tickets
Yeah. The
and pulling
commission
people
pressure.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
And here, I don't ever see anybody pulled. The only time you see somebody pulled over is when they're giving them like a drug alcohol test and they're having them walk the line. So they must have been all over the place,
Yeah.
But I mean, you would in St. Louis, you couldn't drive 2 blocks without seeing somebody pulled over for something. And here, so just the stress of not always being hunted,
Yeah, I
is nice.
understand. That's true. That is true. We have some of that here in Birmingham, and every once in a while, you know, our parking lot at the church is large, so a lot of times they'll sit there and catch people coming over the hill that are speeding in a residential. Well, it's not residential; it's a suburban area. So I think the speed limit is 35, but uh, they think it's a they think it's a racetrack sometimes. But before
Well,
too much time gets away, I want to
okay.
redirect you towards your recent activities of the changing of the seasons. You've had outside tubs. So I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and share at this time, um, if I can remember how to bring it into the screen. Yeah.
Last year, I did 2 tubs, and neither one was like fancy fish. They were just kind of fish. If I killed them, I wasn't going to be upset about. And I ended up with so many guppies that I don't really care about. This year, I tried to go with 4 sets of guppies I really like, even though I really wish I would have done a 5th one because I have one other set or line that I just love so much.
Mm-hmm.
But
What size tubs are these?
these are 110-gallon tubs. I got them at Tractor Supply.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're $65 a piece.
Okay.
And I was told you go during the off season and you can get them at better prices, but I don't know if they have an off season here in Chattanooga because like they sell grills year round outside in front of the hardware stores, and everybody knows wintertime is when you buy your grill because they get rid of them all in
Right.
up north. So I think they're just always $65 here. But
I think Tractor Supply here in our area also, like I have a 150, and I may have gotten it on sale for $99. I think I did. So that was probably at the beginning of spring. So like you said, I think they discount things most of the time, and I did join their little membership thing that gives me some incentives as well. But these are the 4 tubs that he finally got moved inside. One you said still needs to be have a little water added to it. Is that the green water one?
yeah, it's very green. It was the one that was most out in the sun.
Uh-huh.
I left it out the last because I was only able to get 3 the first day. So I figure the one that gets the most sun, I'll leave out last. So that
Okay.
way it might get warmer quicker. Or, just you got to come up with some reason to pull one guy over another.
If anybody has any questions for Ed, you can highlight my name, Susan for SLC Aquatics, or just put a Q in front of your question, and I'll try to catch it and show it on the screen. You want me to show your channel right
Well,
now?
can I just explain this just a little bit?
Yes, go
I
for it.
I put them on cinder blocks and 2x10s. These 2x10s were recycled wood that I put a new deck on the back of my house. So I had all this nice wood, but some of the wood was rotten, but there was a lot that was good. So I
Hmm.
kept all the good stuff and I just piled it back in the backyard because wood costs so much. And when I was doing it, wood didn't cost that much. So thank God that I did it.
Yeah.
And, I used that wood across the cinder block. So that way I've got a bad back. I don't like to bend over much. And when I'm going to do water changes, I think it'll help to have them a little higher off the ground. So that's the plan. I don't know if you guys can really see. I put like a kind of a screen, a wire screen on a couple of them where I set the light across the top in the middle because there's a lot of plants left in the middle too. So, but I plan on putting another screen because the screens go 6 foot. So I'm going to have 2 screens, and I'm going to put 3 of the Menards LED lights across it. I also plan on putting a sponge filter in each one now that they're in the house, and I'm going to rehook up the fountains also because I really like that airflow, or
Uh-huh.
it's not really airflow, but the water flow.
Yes, and it does circulate the water. Triple J has a question for you. If you're driving down the road in your four-door canoe, how many pancakes does it take to cover a doghouse? Okay. Thank you, Triple J.
It really depends on how big of a dog you got.
That's a good one.
But
Oh, yeah.
this is my new fish room too. On the other side, I'm going to put shelving up so I can work on my fish lines because when I first, I'm trying to make a Chattanooga guppy,
That's the,
so
the
I'm
floor is the
slowly
same.
doing.
The floor is the same color as my floors in my living room.
Oh, what is it? Rubber?
It's that waterproof laminate flooring.
Yeah,
It's boards, planks that you put together.
that's what I've got it, but they're like all rubber. So, because it's in my basement, so it's like I asked what they have like in restaurants,
Hmm.
and that's what they put in restaurants because there's so many spills and stuff. And I figured that's going to be perfect for fish rooms.
Yeah, I don't know if they're made out of rubber or not. They just say it's waterproof, but the salesman was honest and told me that it's water resistant. And because we flooded that one time in and it destroyed my carpet, um, he said I could pop them out if they got wet, let them dry out, and pop them back in.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Master photographer David is in the house. Hey, David, how are you doing? Let me see. Justin from
You can
PR.
see my photography sign. Part of it's kind of back there behind
Okay,
my
part of
tanks.
it. Uh-huh.
I used to own a photography studio, and you can see kind of a little bit of photography on there. That hung out in front of on the side of the house,
Oh, I
the
was
studio
wondering
that I
where my
have.
mouse went to. There's my mouse. Right there's the photography sign.
Yeah, I've shot over 250 weddings.
Wow. I've just started doing it and I don't want to do it as a job.
Well, I got out before digital. The year I was offered, a trucking company wanted to buy my studio because it was property in Main Street and had like 2 acres behind it. It was really weird. It used to be uh, a veterinarian shop, so they would put horses out there and stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
so it had this super big backyard, and I put a gazebo and stuff. But they wanted it for a trucking parking lot, and they bought it, and then it turned out they couldn't get the trucks in there. I don't know if they couldn't get the permits to pour concrete on everything or what, but they ended up selling it to just a house. But I still got really lucky, and I sold my studio and started working at the auto factory. And because I was working so many hours, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have weekends or weekdays or ever anything. I worked holidays, everything, so it
Yeah.
was tough.
You it's a bachelor's life.
Mm.
If you have it's hard to have a family. Daniel wants to know, do you bring the tubs in or do you place all the guppies into individual tanks? So you
Well,
brought yours in, right?
yeah, last year I placed them into individual tanks, but this is actually the tubs that were outside. But next year I think I'll just buy 4. Well, I think I'll buy 6 and put them out there, and I'll just leave these inside because it was really hard job moving those things. Really
I
hard.
This is my first year where I'm shutting down the 20-gallon tub and the 40-gallon tub. The 40-gallon still has a little duckweed and some other types of plants in it. And Boo, all of my Java moss that outgrows my tanks and starts dying and turning, I throw it into that 40 gallon. So the 40 gallons pretty much a tub of Java moss. If anybody wants any Java moss, I do not know what kind. Come help yourself.
That's
Um,
awesome.
but this year, every year I would put guppies in the 20 and the 40. This year, I just put the platies that I bought when I came up to Aquatic Aesthetics. Was it March, the first meet that we had?
Hmm.
And I bought a dozen of platies from that guy that had all those big cichlids and plecos that came in late, and I put them out in the tub, and I missed the first cold night in the 50s, and I lost four of the platies out of the dozen. And
Nuts.
after I brought them in, one had some tail rot, fin rot, and a lot of like ick on him. And I tried to keep the water changed, but he lost the battle. And after I sold that colony of swordtail endlers, I split the cory cats up into two tanks. And then I was able to remove that moss and I did about a 90% water change. And then I have some natural uh, ick, in, ick medicine that's made out of tree oil and stuff, or tea oil, I don't know what it's called. And so the rest of them are really doing well. I've got a couple heavy females that really need some more hiding so they can drop their fry. Oh boy, I wanted to show you what David said. I photographed almost 1,000 weddings till I realized I could make 10 to 20 times more money photographing high school seniors. Yep.
Well, I did the seniors during the week and weddings on the weekend or on Saturday. I
Wow.
did it all.
You did it
the
all.
The best moneymaker in the world is actually class reunions. I love getting class reunions. They're a Friday night gig. You show up, you take one shot, and you sell 200 of them for $20 a piece.
Yep.
It's so easy. Family reunions are the same way. Just a big shot, and you're gone.
Yeah. Let's see. I was blessed to be able to build a wonderful business and retire at 57. That's awesome, David.
Nice.
Here's a question from Ed, picking up cichlids. Do you use any filters in your tubs?
During the outdoor tubs, I don't. I don't do anything extra. I don't add air. I do put fountains in there because it gets really hot here in Chattanooga. And this year it never really got hot because it rained almost every day. So I was doing more draining of water. But I keep the fountains on, keeps air in there, and circulation and everything, and it looks pretty. So, but now that they're in the house, I'm gonna get the biggest sponge filters I can find. I'm gonna put one in each one.
I use the box filter in the
Uh
middle
huh.
that has the fountain adapters on it. And I also bought another smaller pump, probably, I think about 80 GPS on it. And it had the 1 inch, I think it's the 1 inch tube fountain heads. It has the bell and the multiple misting and spraying, and uh,
Wow.
but the but I always have problems buying the right size pump to give me the water height on the fountain heads that I want. Most of mine are just like bloop, 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 bubbling over. Oh, is there anything else on your Facebook page you wanted to share?
Not really Facebook. I don't add much to Facebook. Whatever's on Facebook is probably stuff that I just put on Instagram.
Oh,
And
I
I put
gotta
a
show
picture
this.
sometime on Instagram.
I gotta show this.
Yeah, I'm gonna start adding that to all my. Oh, I'm trying to move the mouse. with my, uh, I'm gonna start putting that at the end of all my videos I make.
Okay.
And I wanted to see how long it takes to see if anybody notices.
That's precious to me.
That I shot that he was just right under me. Now Now
Oh, let me
they're both
put you up.
sleeping right here.
Wow.
Baby cat's there and Nico's there.
Can you hold your phone up from the picture you took earlier?
Oh, sure.
That would be cool.
Here we go.
Isn't that beautiful? I love that.
I can't wait to get rid of this wallpaper.
I
That's another project. I
was
don't
gonna
know.
ask what's up with the wallpaper.
Well, it was the there she is. She's like licking his head. But
Sorry.
oh no, no, it's all right. This was the craft room. I think it was a quilting room before I got the house, and I was
Oh,
just using it as a spare little bitty room with a. I put a futon in here so when visitors would come, they could sleep in here. But I decided I'm going to use it for myself. But it's got like sewing needles or needles with thread in them,
hmm,
spools, buttons, and those tomatoes with pins in it.
okay.
And then like the quilting images all the way around. So yeah, that's gonna eventually go. But next week I'm going down to the ALA, and I think Mike from the fish tank barn is going to be picking me up on Wednesday. So I
Wow.
don't know if I want to start a project right before that. And then when I get back from that, I'm going to have like a couple days off. And then I'm going to Dallas, and I'm going to be going with James, Fisher and Fever, and Robert, Tennessee Aqua,
Hmm.
to Aquashella for a week. So, or 5 days. So,
You got your costume ready?
oh yeah. But I can't tell you what it is. I
No.
always make my own costumes.
Good. Keep it this surprise. I want to see it on film. Um, let's see. White Mountain ASMR says in my 110 tubs, I drill a half-inch hole about an inch below the rim of the tub and silicone a piece of screen over it from the inside for rain drainage. Therefore, you don't have to manually drain. Okay, that's a
What
that's a,
what I did was I drilled probably 100, like the smallest drill bit. I mean, not the smallest, but I mean it's smaller than that. But I drilled little bitty holes all the way around because I didn't want my fry to go through in case it would overflow.
yeah.
But I zipped it all the way around the tops, and not probably more like 50, not 100. But I did, and I did the small holes, and I think it probably would have been smarter to do the larger hole because I think the small holes would get clogged with plants so much easier.
Yeah. I don't have, of course, mine's on a porch, so I don't have the runoff from rain and stuff. I have to do my own water changes. Hey, Susie Q Aquatics is in the house.
Hi,
Jeremy's
Susie.
here. Let me see. Fabric softener in warm water with a plastic putty knife should get that all off. That's how I did my kitchen spray and scrape.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to take a photo of that.
Oops, sorry.
So,
Let me leave
oh,
it up. Let me leave it up there. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is.
that's awesome. Cool. Well, I appreciate any hints. I will
Mm-hmm.
take them all.
And Degenerate says that he can sew.
That's awesome. Me too. When I took sewing class in high school, and it was really cool because all the girls they made like stupid clothes and stuff, but I got to make stuffed animals. There was another guy in there, and we both made stuffed animals. He made cars, and I made dinosaurs.
That
It
is
was
so
fun.
cool. I
But
love craftiness. Sometimes I run out of patience.
well, my grandma was a professional wedding dressmaker. She made wedding dresses her whole life, and my mom makes quilts all the time. So yeah,
It's
it
in your blood.
runs.
Oh,
Yep.
Ed wants to know, did you fix the cracks in your diving bell aquarium?
Well, that's going to be an interesting show tonight.
Oh, good. Well,
Uh,
hey, Just hold it.
Okay.
Just hold
I'll
it for
wait.
tonight. Y'all got to come tonight on what is the show called?
Crafted.
Craft Ed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was supposed to be aqua crafted, but I forgot to keep writing aqua. I should. It's only. Ooh, I still have to make my thumbnail for tonight. I forgot all about that.
Oh, okay.
We'll do that as soon as the show's over.
Okay. Degenerate says rent a wallpaper steamer to get the wallpaper off your walls.
I never
I thought
thought
you could
about
just
that either.
squirt it with water. Can you just squirt it with water?
I don't know. They didn't do a very good. Well, you know what? I had to take some wallpaper off upstairs, and they used so much glue in this house. I'm really dreading it. So I bought artificial brick, and it's going to go on this wall here
Okay.
across the back. And so I'm not even going to worry about the wallpaper on that side. And then I'll worry about these two sides as it comes.
Jeremy told Degenerate didn't know you could rent those, but honestly, it was super easy with the fabric softener.
Yeah, I'm going to try the free stuff first.
Yeah. Oh, that is so cool. Let's see here. We got your YouTube channel up right now, and I
Yeah,
wanted everybody to go and see your shorts that you put out.
yeah. I just started doing shorts this month. My goal was to do one short a day, and it turns out I've got so much footage in my phone. I'm doing 3. I hope I'm not driving people crazy because it's so much fun.
Well, I got a notification from YouTube saying that I was eligible for the bonuses for the shorts, but I missed the eligibility for October, so now I have to wait till November. But there's
Oh,
undoubtedly some bonuses that you can get through your AdSense account.
oh,
So,
I didn't even realize that. I've been just I put them all on non-monetized. So that
well,
way
mine
people
says they're
see it quicker.
ineligible, but now I am.
Oh, well, I see. I'm afraid. I think if I put a commercial on it, people will stop watching it.
Well, yours are what?
Um,
Are they 60 seconds long?
15
No,
seconds.
15 seconds. I see
They're
that.
15.5, so it says 16.
Mm-hmm.
But they give you free clips of music of
Yeah,
anything you want.
I
And
like
so I've
it.
been having a lot of fun matching music to the streams. Like there's one that I absolutely love that hasn't gotten hardly any hits. It's a scissor fish. And I was like, well, let's see what music they like in Asia. And so
Oh,
I took the top song in Asia. It's so funny.
can you hear it?
I don't know.
I don't think I shared the
Yeah,
audio.
you could kind of hear it. It's like, hey, hey, hey.
I'm going to remove it and then bring it back with audio. How about that? And that way it'll go on. We'll be able to hear it better. Let me run it back. That was well. Now now I'm buffering.
But it's just a silly sounding song. I don't know if
But
I
they're
just
so
found it.
pretty. And it's
Yeah.
kind of Russian, right?
Well, I
Uh
think it's Asian, but as soon as the girl starts singing,
huh.
it shuts off. So she just goes,
Well, it's going to buffer because I'm on Wi-Fi. But y'all have to go back and watch it yourself. And that's one that he is excited about.
yeah. Well, it did terrible. I think it only got like 104 views. So if I
Yep.
do songs, I think I need to keep them English. I had the juvenile angelfish. I don't know how many it did. It was one of the top Latino songs. So I did that with that one. And it was so funny because Pokemon said, "Is that Spanish or Portuguese?" And I had like no idea what he was talking about. And I said, "Well, I think they were born or hatched here in Tennessee." And then, so I couldn't figure out. And finally, I realized he was talking about the music.
Oh my goodness. Here's Dee Dee's comment. Ed, based on your advice, I made a couple of 15-second shorts and hopefully they have music.
Well, here's another tip. When you go to YouTube, they have like the little plus sign. And if you click theirs to make a video, it won't add your music. So don't use theirs. It's better just to videotape your own thing upright like this and like videotape it for 30 seconds. And then you have a button that says upload. And then you hit upload and it has a little thing where you can say how long you want of your video on there. So I pull it to 15 and a half seconds of the best part of the 30 seconds. So if some of it's out of focus or the fish is off to the side, I push it to whatever side has the best 15 seconds of the fish. And then they have a thing where you say add music, and I add the music, and then there's a button that says add text, so I can like write down Nemo plakat on the thing, and you get to pick your color, your fonts. You can get really crazy with it.
That was the one that hit how many? 28?
Yeah, it hit 28,000.
I guess I passed it again.
Yeah, all the shorts are new. It's one up.
There it is. There it is. That is so cool. 28,393 views.
Yep. And it's so weird because it just skyrockets and then like the next day they just stop showing it. So it all goes at once and takes about 3 days normally before they show it. So I'm always kind of 3 days behind on views. That fish though is actually my fish store owner is going to send that to Matt F.
Okay.
Liquid Zoo. Because he asked to buy that from him, and I told my fish owner that I would buy it from him and we'd mail it, and he says, "You know what? Don't worry about it. I'll just ship it to him for free." And it's like, wow, that's so cool.
That is cool. That is really cool.
My fish store owner, Rob, you've met him. He got the COVID and all of his employees, so they had to shut the shop down.
Oh, no.
And it's been shut down for at least the last 7 days. I don't know if one of his employees has been able to get back or not. So it's a bummer.
That is a bummer, and I didn't know, but I will definitely keep them in my prayers.
I think they're all fine. They're not sick. Like
okay.
Ethan
they just
from
tested
my other
positive. Yeah. Ethan. Mm-hmm.
Ethan from my other shop, he got it pretty bad. He was in bed for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, I chatted with him in Messenger and did the mom thing. You got your drinks, you keep yourself fluidized and everything. He goes, "Yes, ma'am." He said, "My coffee table in front of me is like a pharmacy."
That's awesome.
But he recovered.
Well, I need to head down there. I might head down there tomorrow. I haven't decided. I'm a member of the Tennessee Aquarium. So I thought, well, I could make some shorts at the aquarium, or I could go down to Fish Mania and shoot some at Fish Mania and have some fun there. There's Tiffany White.
Yeah, I just saw her come in.
She's one of my buddies. And I got to hang out with her 2 weeks ago.
I missed Paul McCarthy.
Oh, Paul.
Hi, Paul. And now Degenerate and them were talking about horsehair is used in PA area early in the 1700s to 1800s as insulations and in the plaster. Now, I have found horsehair insulation in some of the houses I've lived in.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Poor horses. No, you had stables full of horses, and every time you groomed them, you didn't throw anything away. You kept it. Let's see, what's this say? Oh, Justin from ER Aquatics is out. I have to cook dinner. Everyone take care and stay safe. I'm quarantined again, waiting on my test result myself, and I am vaccinated. Wish me luck. And of course, best wishes and good health to you. Nathan the
For
fish
sure.
boy. Hello, how are you doing?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good day.
Good day to you. Yep,
Good day.
good
I,
day. I love it.
I really need to work on my accents. I used to do a really good Jewish New York guy, and now it's been so long since I've been to New York, I can't do it at all.
That's cute. Um, David says, I'm in Tennessee, but over by Jackson. There are no clubs over there.
Now, okay, I'm new. Now, it's terrible that my name is Chattanooga Ed, and I've only lived in Chattanooga for about 4 years now. So I'm new to a lot of Tennessee. Is Jackson like north of Knoxville, kind of near Newport and Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge?
Let's look.
But yeah, when I first moved here, there were no clubs in Tennessee. So that's why I changed my name to Chattanooga Ed. So I'd be able to, you're getting some bunny ears.
Yeah, that was Rod.
Well,
Let's
you,
see.
I changed my name to Chattanooga Ed so people from Chattanooga would identify with me and know where I was. And that's how I met like Bob Kaler. And I was going to try to build a club from there. But then I got so into the fish tube, you guys became my club. So I
I'm
really didn't need
shrinking
you.
it down to see where it's at. There's Nashville and there's Jackson. So it's going to be
Oh,
real far west from you,
yeah.
right?
It looks like it's in between Nashville and
There's
Memphis.
Chattanooga and there's Jackson and there's Nashville. Yep. Okay. So we've done a little geography today. David said Rod's being naughty. He's just being funny. Let's see. Mary Page says, I'm so close to Tennessee, it's driving me crazy to come see you guys. Mary Page, you're going to have to.
Well, I think it's March or April. We're going to be having a big show in Knoxville. It's called Aquaticon.
Yes.
And it's going to be a one-day event, but it's going to be the first of hopefully many. And so I don't want to give too many details out because I'm not part of the team or anything. They just like to tell me stuff. And they haven't told the story or haven't told too many people too much stuff. So, but James is like their spokesman. So it's pretty neat. James from Fisher
How
and
are
Feeder.
you spelling aquatic con? Do you know?
I'm not for sure how to spell it.
Hmm.
Let's see if I can. Oh, I
Would it
turned
be
off my internet.
would
I
it
put
be
on
under the
airplane mode.
Chattanooga area? Aquatic Society?
No, I don't
No.
know where they would be advertising it. Well, I can tell you this much. Have you met Kenny Parrott? He's the owner of Aquamarine or Aquatic Marine. It's an awesome store that he's built up in Nashville or in Knoxville. Well,
No.
he's the silent partner, or not really the silent. He's the silent owner that's putting it together, and he had kept it a secret up until just lately because he at the beginning of this year he cut his bicep 90% through with a fish tank. Somehow he's picking a fish tank and it slipped, and he cut his bicep almost off the bone. So he's had this huge thing on his arm all year long. He's a big man too. He's probably like 6'4".
Uh-huh.
Now he's had to have both his knees replaced, and every time he schedules it, he has to have a new body part added. So he just decided. Oh, and then the COVID stopped it last year because he had rented it was going to be a giant circus tent. He was
Oh,
going to try doing a circus tent thing, but this time he's going to do it at a convention center. So
Mary Page says, I'm going to go do it, Jimmy P. I'm going to show up at all the doorsteps. It only takes me 2 to 3 hours to get to most people in the fish fam.
that's awesome.
She's going to have to go on the road like Kenny did. Okay, sorry. Repeating it.
Well,
Uh,
she'll have to let us know because we're going to do some type of a fish meetup the night before with all of us YouTubers, or we have like barbecue and maybe some cornhole or something like that.
what was his last comment? White Mountain. Since I live so close to Boston, I want to hear your best Boston accent.
Oh boy, I love the Boston accent. I have an aunt that lives in Boston. Oh boy.
You almost went there with your Boston when you were how yous guys. I don't know.
See, I'm much better at accidentally getting to my accents than thinking about it. The last time I went to the New England Aquarium, it was like 4 years ago. And the girl that was giving us the tour, she had the thickest Boston accent. I thought it was only in movies that was that thick. It was hilarious. I loved it.
Oh my goodness. Any questions for Ed? Y'all have got 12 minutes before he has to run and create his thumbnail for tonight.
I do.
Oh, oh goodness. Let's see. Master photographer said something. Let me see. He just scheduled double knee replacement for December the 10th. Yippee. Oh, David. God bless you. You know I'll be praying for you.
Let's see what this was one of my entries I put in for my master. Let's see, my master's years ago. It scored an 80, so it's a point. It was one of my points
Okay.
for this image I made.
Oh, beautiful.
And I named because it's like a show when you do the entries.
Uh-huh.
And they put your print up in front of all the people, and the judges like look at it. And this is the Illinois API professional. I'm sorry, I was trying to put it up without it falling off.
Okay.
Professionals, and so you can only I think submit 2 images per show, and you have to score 80 or higher to get a point for each one.
Uh-huh.
And I also got a point. I got my master darkroom guy a long time ago before that because I was a darkroom man for years too.
Man.
And I did other photographers' work. So I get points for their stuff. But nevertheless, they read the name and the people look at it. And most people always had boring names, but mine always were kind of funny. So like when that one came up, it was, boy, it's going to be a big one. And then it made everybody laugh. And I think it helped me score higher points.
That's awesome. Master photographer's asking you, Ed, what do you use for substrate?
Well, my favorite substrate right now, and that was one of my experiments when I built my fish room. I had 55 tanks I had to do substrate in. Well, I didn't have to, but I prefer substrate over bare bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I pretty much tried everything. And the thing, my go-to now that I use 100% is the Father Fish sand cap. I get the best results for the lowest cost. And I don't maybe put all the cool stuff that Father Fish puts in there, but I make sure I put organic soil. And I do worm castings, and then maybe I'll put some other stuff. But that's the 2 main ingredients, and then 2.5 inches of pool sand. You can't beat it for plants. My plants go crazy on it.
That's part of my problem is I was just capping whatever substrate I had in my fish room. And at first he said if I had gravel, cap it with sand. then he went back and kind of backtracked because, you have to refresh your educational knowledge on some things. And he said, really, gravel should have been removed. And then the organic soil, like you said, with uh, worm castings or, some kind of other nitrous energy in there before I capped it with sand. But the 115 long that I have Eco Complete on the bottom and 2 inches
Oh,
of pool filter sand. And,
that's
I see. And now that's baby kitty, isn't it? No, that's
this is
Nico.
Nico.
Hey,
He's
Nico.
eyeballing my water.
Oh, he's thirsty. Get you a drink, Nico. But anyway, that aquarium has crushed coral on top of the sand and a Texas Holy Rock in the middle because I was trying to raise
Ooh,
the GH and the KH so I could have some shellies in there. Well,
nice.
the guppies, believe it or not, were not doing too well. Every generation kept getting smaller and smaller in size. So they're swimming at the top, and I've got 7 shellies down in the bottom, uh, the multifasciatus, and they're finally dominating the tank. And slowly, I'm missing some guppies every once in a while.
Yeah.
They're snacking, but most of the deep substrate is working in all of my tanks, and the plants go nuts for it. Anybody else have any questions? Ed, do you have anything else that you want to tell the people? You've told us about a couple events that will be coming up, and tonight, Crafty Ed's program is going to have an update on the cracked, uh, what are
Yep.
you calling it?
It's a
Oc-
diver's bell.
Diver's bell.
And a lot of people, I guess I shouldn't be saying diver's bell because maybe that's just more slang for people that know what they are.
Hmm.
But they're the old-fashioned diver's helmets. Oh, Nico's checking it out. Um, I've always loved these. My whole life, as a child growing up, I've loved everything about the ocean. You
To
know,
me, it was like walking on the moon in the ocean, right?
oh, yeah, but
It was, you
it's
know,
scarier because you have 100% pressure versus no pressure. So here it's a struggle. There you're just trying to stay down. So,
yeah.
uh, but I absolutely love these things, and I've always wanted more. You know, and it's real funny because Sean Peck has one that his dad bought him at a garage sale, and Sean's like, I don't really like it, but I got to keep it because my dad gave it to me. It's like, I understand, but he tried to wear it once, and he was like, he couldn't breathe out of it because it wasn't pumping air, so he had to take it off so he would live. But
Jesus.
I love them. So I wanted to make one a fish tank on the inside. So I bought one of those 3.5 gallon fish bowls at Hobby Lobby, and right now they're 50% off, so you can get them for $9.99. That's awesome. Now they're a thin glass; they're not a very thick glass, so you have to be kind of careful there.
Hmm.
But I was the original plan was I was going to surround it with clay because I can't bake it.
Right.
I can't put it in a kiln, so I was going to use oven or air dry clay
Yes.
to make the steel, and then the glass would be on the inside to see the
Hmm.
fish. Well, we'll see what happens tonight. I'm going to be working on that for an hour, and then
Okay.
after that, I go hang out with Rico, and I normally try to finish whatever I started on my show because I can't get it all done in an hour normally. And then an hour before that, though, is my partner James. Also,
Yes.
James and I, we're trying to be like, or my goal is to be like a DJ group. I've always loved listening to talk radio and
Uh
two
huh.
guys that just talk. And so my goal is always been to get James, because like for the first year we did our show, we just did everything on the Fish Room Fever show because we just wanted his numbers to go up. And then once he got to 1,000, then I started going. So
Hmm.
I always felt like mine's secondary, his is the primary show. So hopefully we're able to get sponsorships, or people will ask us to go to conventions and maybe pay for the hotel room, or do
Yep.
things like that,
Kind of
which
like
would be
And
wonderful.
Rocco have done on the Aquatic Morning Show,
Yep.
something like
Yep.
that. And
And they've done an amazing job doing
well,
that
her
stuff. But
sister is a marketer, so you might want to talk to her about that
that's awesome.
if y'all
Well,
really if want to launch it and make it happen, because marketing is what it's all about. We market ourselves on YouTube all the time. We put ourselves out there. We make ourselves vulnerable for the audience. We try to cater what we produce for them so that they will keep coming back and watching our content. So um, that's what it's all about. And I talk about sponsorships on my website and in the newsletter, but there is no monetary sponsorship. There's only maybe some special discounts when we do purchase from them, or just wanting to help promote their business in the hobby along with our main box stores and those that are into mom and pop shops. Let's get to Nathan Fishboy's question here. He says, if you have a fish light that you turn on to the brightest setting first thing in the morning, within 30 minutes it goes back to being dim, what would be the cause of that?
I would guess it's either like a programming error, or it might just be wearing out.
Yeah,
And like I've
alarming.
got right now, I've got a really nice light on my 125, and it seems to do the same thing. It goes dim, and I think it's just because I've been running it for 3 years straight. So I've been thinking about maybe having to replace my
Yeah.
Flugel 3.0, which stinks.
Yeah, David's asking the good question. Nathan, what light do you have, first of all? Because we don't know if it's programmed or if it's just overheating from being on. It's an older light. He says it's an Aqueon strip grow light.
Uh, I would. I don't think they have much programming Aqueons. I think they're just the standard light. So I bet you it's just wearing out.
Yeah, David says it could be a circuit overheating, and you might also want to check the connections of your electrical cord. Make sure that a cat or something hasn't chewed into it.
You know, I've been the two lights that I use now are Aquanites. They were just dirt cheap for the longest
Uh-huh.
time on Amazon. Um, and I don't like to promote Amazon, but when you can buy a light that does the same as a $200 light for $25,
Mm-hmm.
the Aquanites are the way to go. I got that from Lucas Brett's. That's what he was using.
Right.
But Lucas Brett's been replacing those with Menards lights, and the Menards lights are even cheaper, and I think they're more hefty duty. Just
Okay.
so I've been slowly going to Menards. Now, the bad thing about Menards is they're not here in the South, so I only get them like if I go up on a fish trip up north or go visit my brother in Iowa or in Missouri. I can get them.
Yeah. I actually ordered from Menards this past summer, uh, but it was the cushion for my metal set that I have on the front porch. They are a barrel shaped chair,
Yep.
and locally I couldn't find the barrel shaped one piece cushion that ties onto the chair. Found it I found one pattern, but they only had one cushion. So I had to go with a different pattern, but still, now we have two matching cushions on our chairs on the front porch, and it really looks nice. And we've run out of time, Ed.
Oh
Um,
no.
oh, it's terrible. But I want to tell you, it really means a lot for you to come on and be my special guest. Thank you so much for being with us today. Thank you, everyone in the chat that participated and hung out, and those that couldn't stay long but shared and clicked that like button. And if you know Mom, you know Fish Mom. If you don't, if you're not a subscriber of Chattanooga Ed, Go over there and show love for love. And if there's been anybody in chat that you didn't know about, go over there, write their name down, visit their channel, and show love for love. And again, Ed, thank you. And this is hashtag FishFamMom and Chattanooga Ed saying, have a great day.